Welcome back, everybody, for week three's little rendition here of our Summer Classic Countdown, where you tune in to find out where your favorite teams are ranked from last year's Summer Classic and listen to me butcher people's last names and whatnot. So to recap, we've had a couple of these already. Last week we looked at Balls and Dolls, number 69, Blue Sox 68, No Glove, No Love came in at number 67. Pitch Slap from Coeur d'Alene came in at 66. Spades Construction, 65. Sucker Punch from Missoula, 64. Sage Creek, the aluminum division winner, was 63. Those guys out of Missoula, Montana, 62. Carl and Friends from Coeur d'Alene, number 61, Wasted Potential. And Kim Nelson's Pitch Please team from Coeur d'Alene came in rounding out number 60. So let's get in to see who's... So the team coming in at number 59 is the Pandemics out of Spokane, Washington. This is James Rashko's. I should ask James how to pronounce his last name. That sounds about right. Rashko's team. The year before, in 2021, they were ranked 56th. This is their second tournament appearance that they're in, though James has played in a few more than that. They were playing out of Group I, where they went 1-2. They played DDHB from Spokane, and kind of a rivalry game there. I think some of these players used to play on that team. They lost 11-10. And then they played the 406 Warriors from Montana and lost 19-11. And then they nipped Pitch Please from Coeur d'Alene 12-11 in an exciting game there to round out group play. That put them in the nickel division. And out of Plants Ferry 5, they started their tournament run against Battle Round, which was a really good game. It went back and forth. It was 21-18. Battle Round ended up winning, knocking the Pandemics out early. But they are in this tournament this year, and they are ranked number 59 in the Pandemics. Okay, we move up to number 58, and a team we just mentioned with just in the last little segment there with the Pandemics, DDHB from Spokane, Washington. This is their fourth tournament appearance. Jay Callett has run that team, and this team has had a couple times where they made some deep tournament runs. How did their 2022 go, though? They played out of Group I, where they went 1-2. They played the Pandemics, which they beat 11-10 in a great game. They did lose to Pitch Please 11-10 in another nail biter, and then they had another great game with the 406 Warriors where they lost 18-15. So some real good close action in that bracket. That put them in, or in that group, I'm sorry. That put them in the nickel division as well. They were out of Plants Ferry 1, where they took on Showtime Northwest, a team that made a great run in the nickel division. So they ended up losing 16-10 in the first round. Currently, they are in the tournament this year. Actually, looking at my notes, currently undecided. They haven't said yay or nay if they're going to be back. So we'll see what happens with DDHB. This would be their fifth tournament appearance if they show up. Number 58, DDHB from Spokane. Okay, here's another team at number 57 who's got some tournament experience under the belt. Riding the Pine with some of the nicest jerseys, I think, in the tournament. It was their fourth tournament appearance. Jen Lewis is now running the team, playing out of Spokane, Washington, where they were in Group A, where they had a pretty good grouping. Actually, they finished 2-1. They lost to the Hoobos in the opening night, 16-6 on a Friday night game. But then they came back and beat B-Town Heroes 17-7 and Sausage Slingers, the last team that was in the tournament last year out of Spokane. They beat them 15-11. The last year's rank, they were 46th, so they dropped a little bit, being ranked 57th now. They are in the nickel division, is where they started their tournament run, out of Plants Ferry 4, where they took on the leftovers from Missoula, Montana. This was another great game, kind of went back and forth as well. 19-15, they came up on the short stick, losing that game in the first round. So Riding the Pine, currently in the tournament this year, paid and ready to go. So we're looking forward to seeing Jen Lewis and her team back. Number 57, Riding the Pine. Okay, we're moving right along to number 56. 56 is the Hit Talkers out of Kalispell, Montana. Ryan Bushang. That sounds like that's how it looks like on my paper. Bushang. We're going to go with that. It was their first tournament appearance, so they were not ranked in 2021. They were in Group S, where they went 0-3. They played Short Strokes from Rathdrum, which ended up being a really good team. They lost to them 17-8. Then they played another one, 16-9, another really good team from Spokane. And then Chasing 8, one of our perennial power teams. They took them on and lost 19-4, but that's no embarrassment. Chasing 8's a great team. I put them in the nickel division where they were battle tested, so they were ready to go. And they came up with a first round win over those guys, 19-5, and then they took on Showtime Northwest, which we talked about a little bit earlier, was the team that ended up making a great run in the nickel division. They took them down to the wire, losing 20-19. Currently, they just put themselves in the tournament, so they are currently in for this year. Number 50. Moving right along to one of our Coeur d'Alene teams. These people have played in the tournament before, but this is the first time that they organized a team together. It was the Incredibles from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. First tournament appearance, Chantel Smith is running the team, so no rank for 2021. They were playing out of Group N, and they had a great start. They went 3-0. They played Pitch Slap, another Coeur d'Alene team, a little rivalry game there, I think it was. 13-1 was the win there. Then they played No Glove, No Love from Spokane, Washington. They beat them 18-5. And then they took on Sons of Pitches, Brandy Brunch's team, and a narrow win, 12-10, to go undefeated and move into bracket play. Going undefeated got them a first-round bye in the nickel division, where they started out their quest for a championship at Plants Ferry 3, but came up a little short against a seasoned team. H3 Firearms, AJ Hancock's team, took them down 20-7. So they ended up going out there, but a good first run for this team. They are in the tournament this year. Number 55, the Incredibles from Coeur d'Alene. Okay, now we run into number 54. Who's number 54? It's going to be DWSW from Spokane, Washington. Ashley Nolan's team. It was their first tournament appearance. No 2021 rank, obviously, since it was their first time joining the tournament. They played out of Group D, where they went 2-1 in a pretty good group. They ended up beating Showtime Northwest, which we talked about already a couple times, 14-10, so that's a good quality win. They lost to the Leftovers, another team we've mentioned earlier, 21-16. The Leftovers had a really good tournament. And then they beat the Coeur d'Alene Blue Sox on a late Saturday game, 7-6. So that put them in the nickel division, where they played. They started out playing in Plants Ferry 3. And boy, they had a great morning. Maybe they're just an early morning team, because they beat Pitch Please pretty good, and that's a good Pitch Please team that they took down 24-4 in the first round. Then they took on Fam Bam. They lost 12-2 in the quarterfinals. Ended up finding out Fam Bam ended up making a great run in this tournament, so there's no disgrace there. Not in the tournament this year, sadly. Number 54, DWS. Okay, we're going to run into some teams now that we've mentioned already. This is one team we've mentioned. It's the Leftovers from Missoula, Montana. This is their fourth tournament appearance. So this team has been over here quite a bit. In 2021, they were ranked number 64, so they moved up 9 spots. Andrea Jones is running the team. And Group D, they had a great Group D. They were the winners of Group D. They went 3-0. They first beat the Blue Sox 10-8. And then they took on DWSW, another good team that we found out earlier. 21-16, they beat them. And then a really big win over Showtime Northwest, 18-3. Kind of surprising how big of a score difference that was. That put them in the nickel division, and they started their quest out at Plants Ferry 4, like most nickel division teams did. They took on Riding the Pine in a great game. 19-15, they came up on top in the first round. So that advanced them to the second round against Battleround out of Coeur d'Alene, where they lost 19-7 in the quarters. So not in the tournament this year, sadly, but number 53. We just talked about, and this is the team that eliminated the Leftovers last year. It's Battleround from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This is their second tournament appearance. They used to be GTR Properties. They changed their name to Battleround. Stacy Stevenson running the team, and they were number 65. They were ranked number 65 in 2021, so they moved up 13 spots to be ranked 52 now. In Group L, they went 2-1, and these are some familiar teams we've talked about already. They lost to Fam Bam 12-10. In the first game. They did beat Big Sky PR 19-1, and then they took down Team Day Drunk 19-5. So that gave them a 2-1 record and bounced them into the nickel division, where they started out things against the Pandemics out of Plants Ferry 5, where they came away with a narrow 21-18 win. Then an impressive win over a red-hot Leftovers team. Leftovers are coming in 4-0 in that game, and they beat them 19-7 in the quarterfinals to go to the semis. Semifinals, they met up with Fam Bam, and they lost 9-3 to get knocked out. But a great run for Stacy's team. They're in the tournament this year, ranked 52 out of Coeur d'Alene. Are you having fun listening to these rankings? Sure you are. That's why you're still here, and you're checking out number 51, H3 Firearms. Good tournament for AJ Hancock out of Missoula, Montana. This is their fourth tournament appearance, so they've, once again, another one of these teams that have got some tournament experience under their belt. 2021 rank was 44, so they dropped a few, 51, but they played out of Group M, where they went 2-0-1. They played Spades Construction from Sandpoint with a good first win, 16-4. Then a great game against Corner Bar, one of our teams that have been in every tournament, 12-12 tie there. And then they took down Balls and Dolls last year's, or 2 years ago, it was Aluminum Division winner, 15-12. So that took them to the nickel division where they made a little run. In a very defensive, tight, low-scoring game, they knocked out Wasted Potential 8-6 in the first round. Then they took down the Incredibles 20-7 in the quarterfinals, and the Incredibles were coming off a grouping win. And then they lost to Showtime Northwest 20-7 in the semis. So number 51, H3 Firearms. Kind of went over there a little bit, but we're number 50 is Showtime Northwest. So let's get right into this to talk about Travis Mendy's team. This is the first time Travis has played in this tournament before. This is the first time he's ever had his own team in. This is their first tournament appearance, no ranking in 2021. They were in Group D where they went 1-2. They started out on a Friday night with a big 15-5 win over the CdA Blue Sox, then a close 14-10 loss to DWSW from Spokane, and then another loss to the leftovers, 18-3. So they saved it all for Sunday. First round, they beat DDHB out of the nickel division 16-10. Then the second round in the quarterfinals, they outlasted the Hit Talkers 21-19. 20-19. What a great game there in the quarterfinals. In the semis, I was surprised by this score. They really took down the H3 Firearms 20-7 to advance to the championship, where they met Fam Bam. Fam Bam from Spokane, this is one of the better championship games we had in the nickel division. They lost 16-15. So looking forward, Travis's team is in this year, and we're looking forward to having him back. So that's number 50, Showtime Northwest. Hey, there we go, 59 through 50. We'll find out who is in the 40s next week as we continue to count them down. See you next week, everybody.